Welcome to Hema's Cuisine. Today we're going to make white chocolate cranberry cookie. And I want to thank one particular person for all my baking skills that I've acquired so far. She works with me and her name is Julie. So I used to, be an enthusiastic person when it comes to baking, but never got around perfecting it because always used to refer to recipes in the books. Never comes out good. And I always had this dream of, it's Christmas and I get around the kitchen with my kids, bake cookies and cakes and all that, but that never happened perfectly as I imagined. And then I met Julie at work. So she bought cookies one day, and then it was like the most perfect cookies I've ever had. And then I found out that she used to be a baker in her previous job. And then she quit that and she became, she came and worked for us at the OAG. And I asked her for recipes, and she said she has a tetrabyte full of recipes if I want. I told her, don't dump everything on me because I have no clue how this whole thing works. And so she gave me like beginner recipes and then like medium recipes. And then so we slowly built on it. So thank you so much, Julie Boatman, for mentoring me, supporting me, teaching me, and answering all my silly, dumb questions when it came to baking. I owe it to you. Thank you.
Now let's see what ingredients we need to bake these cookies. I get my all-purpose flour in HEB. I prefer unbleached, and brown sugar. And when you get chocolate chips, make sure it's called baking chips because that's the variety that's used for baking. So for today we're going to use white chocolate, and this is the sugar I prefer to buy. I don't like processed sugar, the one they say they add the bone to make it all white. So in here it says bone char free, so that means it's not processed and it's certified vegan and all that good stuff. And of course it's non-GMO, and I like that too. It's like any other sugar. You use whatever the recipe calls it for, just like how you use white sugar. Another main thing with baking is your butter, your eggs, they all have to be in room temperature. So in the stand-up mixer, I have added 3/4 cup of unsalted butter at room temperature, half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of white sugar, and in a bowl I'm adding 1 whole egg and 1 yolk and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. And I try and mix it nicely, keep it ready while the butter and the sugar is nice and mixed creamy to this kind of texture. And then I add my egg and vanilla extract mixture to it, and I keep mixing it. So to bring the butter and the egg to room temperature, just leave it out for like an hour or two. I mean, before you make it, you don't want to leave it out for too long and not make it that day. Just leave it out and it should be okay. It's really important that it has to be in the room temperature because that kind of disturbs everything, how they mix and all that stuff. So keep mixing it unless they are all nice and frothy and it has that ice creamy look. Now you add your flour, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and then 2 extra tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Don't even ask me. Baking is exact science and I just follow the recipe. So I just added 2 cups, now 2 tablespoons of it. Okay, that's the flour. And now we add cornstarch, 2 teaspoons of it. and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Of course, in any sweet, you gotta add salt. So a pinch of salt. Just to enhance the sweetness. So mix it all up in a medium speed. Another key thing with cookies is you don't make the dough and then immediately bake the cookies, because the dough needs to sit in and get nicely mixed up. So you got to leave it in the refrigerator for like at least an hour, if not, if you have the time, maybe the whole day. So it's nice and nicely mixed. And if you really take it in your hand and like make it into a ball, it would not even stick to your hand. That is the perfect consistency of a cookie dough. So to this, I'm going to add 1 cup of dried cranberry, 1 cup of white chocolate chips, and now you cannot use a mixer anymore. You gotta hand mix it, because you know why, you don't want to mush it up. So I am hand mixing it so it's evenly spread. I just want to show this to you, how you have to like literally take everything out, because I was told the baking soda and all that, they stick on the sides, so you want to scrape everything off. So I have transferred the cookie dough into a bowl, and I'm going to keep it in the refrigerator for at least a day. And this is key, guys. You have to refrigerate it, let it sit, and then, so this is the day after I made the cookie dough. I am preheating the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is where I line up my cookies. This is a silicone cookie sheet, but I don't use that. I make my tortillas, chapatis out of it. I just use the plain aluminum trays. Aluminum is the best cookware to bake, in my opinion. And Pranav is trying to help me make the cookie balls. So it's not going to come out perfect, guys, which is totally fine with me. I love when kids are in the kitchen and helping me. So we line up the cookies, roughly about 40 to 45 cookies, depending upon how big you make it. That's how much you get from this batch. So the cookies are all ready now, and you have to give them a distance, because they're going to now become, flat, and they need their space. Even the cookies need their space. So off it goes into the oven, and I'm going to set it to, okay, I check whether 350 is all set, preheated. Then I transfer it into the oven, and I set the timer to 4 minutes initially. I mean, mine is a gas oven. If yours is like an electric oven, it takes a little bit longer. Make it 5 or 6, but not more than 6. You don't want to overcook the cookie. So I set it to 4. It usually takes like 10 to 12 minutes. So I set it up to 4, and then I rotate the tray just once, just so it's evenly cooked. And then I reset my timer to like another 4. But then if you feel like 5 and 5 is good for you, or 6 and 6, then go ahead and do that. But not more than 6. And this is very important, guys. You have to have a wire rack. When your cookies come out, they got to sit in it for like at least 15 minutes or more to completely cool and not condense and have, droplets underneath, and that's not good for a cookie. So I leave it on the wire rack. If you look at the cookie, it doesn't feel like it's like completely done, right? I mean, this is more like when you make candy, or it's not set yet, but it's going to keep cooking until it's like completely cooled. So don't worry about it. If you feel like it looks like doughy, it's going to keep cooking, and then once it's like completely cooled, you can transfer it to a cookie tin. And then, this is one batch, and we did have another batch on of cookies to be baked, and you can go ahead, roll it, and bake it again. There you go. Our beautiful cranberry white chocolate cookies are ready. Try it out and let me know how it came out. Bye.